Hi, my name's Lorena Saedi. I am the founder and managing attorney here at SAEDI Law Group. This is actually the second video in our series on the actual bankruptcy petition schedules and plans, where we're trying to explain each section of a bankruptcy petition plan and schedules for consumers, so you understand really how it's put together and what each section is. So today we're going to do this one on schedules A/B. And what schedules A/B is going to reflect, or schedule, I'm sorry, it's one schedule now. Back in the old days, it was two. This schedule is going to reflect your assets. And it's really, really important because you see people mess this up all the time. They don't list assets. And that will get you in a lot of trouble, and it will cause a lot of drama in your bankruptcy case, even can cause you to lose assets if you don't have them disclosed. So you want to list anything you have an interest in, your name is on. This is the section that information is going to be displayed. So the first section, we're going to list any real estate, any real property. So if you're buying a home, I don't know how many times I'll ask someone, oh, do you own any real estate? And they'll say, no, I've got a mortgage. That you still have real estate. So we need to list that. So having a mortgage on it doesn't matter. I need to know what property you have that your name is on. So if you have a timeshare, I need to know. If you have a trailer, a mobile home, I need to know that. And if you have a piece of land, rental property, I need to know all of that. Another common thing I'll hear from folks is, well, my name is on the property, that's my mom and dad's house. Doesn't matter, your name is on it, it's gotta be listed, because guess what? That's an asset. So, I don't care why you're not living in that property, I don't care what the reason is that your name got put on it, your name is on it. So please, 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 when you are filling out this section, you're disclosing things to your attorney, we're not psychic. If you don't tell us, we don't know. And you've got to make sure that's listed, because again, you're going to sign this page under penalty of perjury. And, you get to a hearing and the trustee's done, a property search on you, and they're like, well, what about this property? What about that? And you'll hear people say, oh, I didn't know I had to list that. Well, really? Because it says right here that you're under penalty of perjury, you've listed everything. So be really careful with this section. Now, the other things you're going to disclose on Schedule A/B are going to be vehicles. If you have a four-wheeler, if you have a jet ski, if you have a pull-behind trailer, again, any asset with your name on it or you have an interest in is going to be listed in this section on the schedule. Bank accounts, retirement accounts. Also, if you have an interest in a business, that needs to be disclosed there. If you have stocks or bonds, these need to be disclosed. Another area that we see people mess up is they don't disclose that they have pending lawsuits. They have they're called contingent claims. So, if you're suing somebody, we need to know that, because that, you could get money, that's an asset. So that needs to be disclosed. And if you don't disclose these things in your bankruptcy petition, you can lose the right to collect from that in a lawsuit. So it's a really big deal. I haven't had too many phone calls lately because we really try to hammer this home with our clients, but I've gotten some calls years later where they were trying to settle, and the other side, they do their diligence and they're like, oh, well, you didn't list this as an asset in your bankruptcy case, so you're barred from collecting. And yeah, they're SOL. So you want to be super, 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 super detailed in this area. And when you're listing your assets, you do have to provide a valuation. And of course, there's it'll say clothing, household items, electronics. When we're doing these valuations, they want to know if you literally had a garage sale and you were selling things to folks, how much would you get for it? So we're not talking retail value. We're just talking, garage sale value. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, as an attorney, I, of course, always go through all these things with my clients to make sure these values are correct. And we'll even help walk them through that. But that is something you need to understand, is you do need to also list of value. Now in next week's video, we're going to do exemptions. And exemptions are going to play in with this schedule. So Schedule A/B and Schedule C work together because you use Schedule C to protect those assets. And when I say protect, to make sure that they wouldn't get liquidated in a Chapter 7. That's how it works. So very, very important that you're good on your values and that you have all of these things listed. Because again, when you're filing bankruptcy, lots of different moving parts. And if you mess up one part, you're going to affect the entire petition, and it could have really, really bad ramifications for you down the line. So, if you have any questions, I'm always happy to answer questions about bankruptcy. But again, this was the second video on our series on on bankruptcy in terms of the petition plan and schedules. So video before was on the voluntary petition, and now the next section is Schedule A and B. So tune in next week. We will have exemptions, which depends on where you live, how long you've lived there, all this exciting stuff. But I will go over how it applies to your bankruptcy case.